All right, good morning. Friday. Fire up Friday, we hope. Got some fresh fuel standing by. We're just about to put fuel in it for the first time, so hopefully we'll have no leaks there. Got some kitty litter standing by just in case. We got our battery fully charged. So that's looking good. We'll disconnect that and put the charger away. So yeah, Alynn's going to arrive about 8 a.m., about an hour from now. So we'll do a little bit of prep, get the gas in the car, make sure there's no leaks, and then we should have a good day today. Stay tuned. And that'll do for now. Let's see if we have any leaks before we continue on any further. Alright, just coming up to 7:45. I think we're all set. And we got, yeah, that's looking good in there. So we're good to go. Ready for startup. Alright. Underneath the dash is the first job for the day.
Buongiorno Italia.
No, we're not working on the Alpha.
Oh no.
No.
I broke my...
Your Alpha tools?
Yeah, and my Italian vocabulary. Buongiorno Italia. Mangiare macaroni.
So anyway, we're figuring out the wiring. Again, we've already wired it. We just need to hook it back up. So unfortunately, somebody didn't do a very good job when they disconnected the wiring and didn't label anything.
Because
that would have made
it a wiring diagram. They can look at it.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got the overdrive wiring on this side to contend with. And then we've just got the wiring for the air-fuel ratio gauge, the electric fan, and the driving lights, which I uninstalled, and then there's the USB as well. So we'll just get those hooked up first. We'll tuck the wiring up under the driver's side that's a little hanging a little bit low, and we've got these Velcro straps like I'd mentioned before. We're going to just tuck those up and make them a little bit neater. Looks pretty neat on this side. I'm happy with this side. Just make the driver's side look a little bit better. All right, I think we're ready to go as far as all the wiring is concerned, and we've done a few other small jobs, like we've actually done the beading. So that's tightened down now, so we're good to go there. We cleaned up the wiring in the trunk and tucked that away. Cleaned up the wiring under the dash, tucked that away. We still have yet to see if everything still works, but we'll figure that out once we fire the car up. Everything's ready to go as far as firing the car up, but we figured we would put the seats in. I think Alynn's planning on going for a drive at some point today, so that's why he's encouraging me to put the seats in. But before we do that, I think I mentioned that I'm putting the 69 seats back in the 250, or not back in, but in the 250, as I find them much more comfortable than the short backs. So before we do that, we're going to change the diaphragm out. So here's the old diaphragm that came off the passenger side seat. I'd actually changed the driver's side on my trip to St. Louis when I put this in these seats in the TR6. I'd swapped out the driver's side already, but I never changed out the passenger side, so we're going to do that now. So we've got Moss diaphragms. There is the part number if you're interested. It comes with new hooks and instructions that Alynn's just read. Alynn's told me he's never put one of these diaphragms on a seat before, so he's going to have a challenge doing it today, right? He's going to learn how to do it today. So these can, yeah, you read the instructions. Now these can be a little bit of a pain to get this diaphragm stretched out. So we're going to use the old existing hooks that are on there. They're in pretty good shape. So just want to let you know what we're up to. Are you having fun doing your first seat diaphragm? Yeah, you got to take the jacket off. So we got it strapped down to the bumper hitch on the truck to try to pull the diaphragm down. The remaining side is a pain in the butt, so works with two people trying to get these down in here. This one's going to be next to impossible, but we're going to give it a shot. So we're using a bit of a pry bar technique with a pair of needle nose vice grips and a lot of swearing off camera.
It's nice that these hooks are like this, so when you use them to this hole, you don't need to actually go on an angle. Yeah. You go straight, and then you can angle it to go in. Yeah. So these are really nice hooks, the new one. The old ones were not like that.
Right.
So
All right, we'll continue on. We'll come back when he's drinking a beer, you know we've had some success. Until then, no beer. A little change of pace out here in the garage. Beer time. Let me know how that is, as opposed to your normal Stella. Drinkable?
it's like 66 Spitfire.
It's aged.
Yeah.
All right, the seats are installed. So again, not correct for the car, but definitely a lot more comfortable for touring. So, you know, they're only a year removed from this car anyway. There's 69 seats and a 68. So, hey, dock me some concourse points. At least I'll be comfortable. All right, I think we are finally ready to attempt to start this up. So I've got fuel in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe set you up on a tripod here. And we've got our fire extinguisher standing by over there. I am going to prime the carbs with the, it's still running a mechanical pump on this car, so I am going to fill the carbs up by manually priming the fuel pump. And we're going to spin it over with the coil disconnected just to get some oil pressure before we actually fire it up. So wish us luck. I'll set you up. All right, after me saying there were no leaks, we found a leak in the metal fuel line running along the frame rail. So we're trying to rectify that before obviously we go any further. So we're trying to be careful and not blow ourselves up in the process. Right?
Yep.
Green thing? All right, we believe we have our fuel line issue resolved. There was a small pinhole in the rear of the metal line running along the chassis rail. So we just cut a little 3-inch piece out of it, let's say, and we had enough flexible line to rejoin it and then put a double clamp on it, so we should be good to go. So Alin is going to just crank the car to see if we can get oil pressure. Let him do the honors.
Well, you're gonna come started after.
Yeah, let me see if we got oil pressure.
Key.
Okay, we lost the key now.
It works better with a key, David.
In my pocket. Ah, look at that.
All right. I don't see oil pressure.
No, keep cranking a little bit more. All right, no oil pressure. I have a feeling it might be the gauge though. I'm going to check here. All right, quick update. We pulled the oil gauge because I put a leather washer in and we thought it might be restricting the oil passage in the back of the gauge. So we've removed that, put some thread sealant in, and hopefully we're good there. Now we're going to actually, we've removed the distributor and we've got the drive-in gauge with the drill on reverse, and we're going to see if we can get oil pressure now. So hit it. Yep. Take two, hang on. The battery for the actual drill. Let's let it rip. Okay. Yeah.
This battery is no good either.
Well, we've got 50 pounds, so
Okay.
it's working. 60, 70. Yeah.
The battery is not good.
Okay, we got oil pressure.
Okay.
All right, so distributor's back in. We have oil pressure. We got the coil plug back in. So we're ready to go again.
Yeah.
Give her a start. I'm going to pull the choke. I've only got 2 of the chokes hooked up on the Weber, so they're activated. Hopefully I don't need 3 chokes. You ready?
Yeah. Good luck.
All right. I'm going to prime that fuel pump a bit more.
I haven't connected the tap.
Want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back in a sec. We're just going to connect the tack cable back up.
Gonna take a second.
All right, Alynn's going to crank it. I'm going to work the throttle on this side. So let her rip. No.
Are we sure we have fuel there?
Well, I can smell it. That's for sure. Smell it? Coil's all the way plugged in, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's see if we have spark there.
Okay, try it again. Crank it again. All right, conversion. Yeah.
Okay, I know what's happening.
What's that?
The wires on the ignition switch. I had this problem with the Spitfire,
Yeah.
where the wires on the ignition switch were switched. You have to crank and then let go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna jump the ignition coil to make sure that we have power constantly, but I didn't bring my jumper cables. So,
I have.
hmm?
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah, just leads, right?
Yeah.
Alligators. I don't know if they're thick enough, but here.
Are they long enough?
I don't know. Gonna see.
Yeah.
Not long enough?
Yeah.
All right, I think we might have an issue with the ignition switch because it seems to be catching when it's in the off or the accessory.
So when you turn the ignition on,
Yeah.
you have power to the coil.
Right.
But when you turn to crank, that's
Right.
where the power to the coil.
Right. So we just probably have one of the wires on the back of the switch. So we're directly wiring it and see
Yeah.
if we can get fire that way.
Let me put the distributor in the other position because it was.
Yeah.
Now that we removed it, I might like it has a little bit of play. I
Yeah.
put it in one end.
All right, just made a quick mixture adjustment on the Webers because I remember I'd had them off the car to clean them, and I wanted to back the idle screws back out 2.5 turns. So hopefully that'll get us a little bit closer to where we need to be to start at least. All right, let's give her another shot. Maybe put the choke back on.
Yeah. I pulled it back because it was about to die.
You want to pull it back on though? The choke?
Yeah, now it's on.
No, I don't. Is it?
Yeah. That's all.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, I see it now. Yeah, okay, go. Maybe more timing?
This way, so I'm delaying it this way. Give it advance. Go the other way. I think it needs a little bit of an advance. Too much advance?
Maybe a little bit more even. Can you go a bit more?
Yeah. Let's try that.
So it runs and obviously needs a lot of adjustment as far as the linkages to the carbs are concerned, as far as the timing is concerned. So we'll work on that, but at least it starts. The only thing is we do need to go to the back of that switch and fix the positions of the wires on the starter switch. So we're going to do that now so we can actually keep it running when the key is actually in the run position. All right, so that's what we're going to do now, and then we'll come back. Maybe we'll start it up one more quick time. Or maybe not, we'll see. We had a little bit of an issue with the oil gallery plug here at the rear of the head dripping, so we got a little bit of an oil spillage situation, so we just put some kitty litter down for that. We've tightened that plug up, so anyway, things are good. All right, sounding much better after doing a little bit of tinkering around. Much smoother. So we'll just let it run for a little bit. We've got a problem now with the amp gauge not registering correctly, so we're going to tackle that next. But other than that, we want to see if it actually goes into gear.
We'll keep it to the owner?
Sure. See if it'll actually go into gear. Emergency brake all the way off? Emergency brake all the way off? All the way off? Yeah. See if the gas pedal actually works. Work, but foggy. Anyway, we got to tune that. Okay, we're going to see if this actually... First gear. Okay, that's good. Second gear. Okay, that's probably good. I don't want it to fall off the jack stands. You want to go forth? Reverse? Okay, well, we got gears. How does the brake pedal feel? Not there? Okay. We got to work on the brake bleeding stuff. All right. We're getting there. Sounding better anyway. Alright, we're doing a total amperage draw test on the car. So we've got everything on, heater on, wipers on, all the lights on, turn signals on, electric fan on. Basically everything is on in the car.
Right.
Running lights are on. Marker lights are on.
26 amp.
26 amp total draw with everything on the car. So 25, well, yeah,
You need a
26 I saw.
So you need a 30 amp fuse for here. What do you have? You have 100 amp fuse.
100 now.
Okay.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, guys, just coming up to 4:30 p.m. and Alinda's just left for the day. Again, big thanks to Alin for helping out today and crossing off a bunch of items off the list that were remaining. So here is that list. So we're going to call the interior dash done. So that's looking good. Now we have the 69 TR6 seats in there. We've got all the gauges back in the dash. I'll take you over for a quick look. That's looking pretty good in here. So that is complete. Everything is functioning as it should. Gauges wise, lights wise, all the USB works. The AFR gauge works as it should. So we're happy with that. Everything works perfectly. So I'm going to call that done. So interior dash crossed off the list. The hardtop trim already been crossed off. The Surrey top fitting, I've just had Lynn help me lift it back on the car. I want to put the car down off of the jack stands to be able to get the rear aligned properly. So it's just sitting on there again temporarily, but we'll work on getting that actually finally bolted down. The gear oil fluid checks changed, that's been done. Obviously engine oil was changed yesterday. We checked the transmission fluid and we already did the differential before. We checked the coolant, so that's all done. Trim strips and beading. Trim strips we decided to go against. Those were the lower trim strips on the rockers. But the beading we managed to do today, so Alin helped me as I pushed down on the beading from the top. Alin got under the car, under the fenders, and bent the tabs up. So those are good. They're secured in place now, so we're happy with that. So that really leaves things that I need professionals for. That's the alignment number 7, the safety and certification number 8, and then as I mentioned, we're probably going to get this professionally detailed at some point. So getting pretty close to getting it to an alignment shop and into that safety and certification mode. There are a few things I want to do. As mentioned, I want to probably lift the exhaust up at the rear, but that can be done at a later date, so I'm not too concerned about that at the moment. Obviously, we need to do a lot of tuning on these carbs, so that is going to be fun. That I'm sure will be an adventure. Anyway, I'm happy that we've got it running and running fairly smoothly now. So I'm happy with that. We're going to put it down off of stands as mentioned, and we can see if we can get it to move up and down the driveway under its own power. As you saw, it moves through the gears while it's up on stands. That's a good thing. That's promising. Sounds like the brakes might need some work still, so might have to go back and revisit the brake bleeding and see if we can get a better pedal. All right, as always, guys, thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. We're probably not going to be working on the TR250 for the next week or so. We are going to get back to working on the 1981 Alfa Romeo Spider project. There are still some major projects left to do on the Alfa. I've got carpet and I've got tires being delivered to my mailbox. I was hoping that they were going to be there today, but I don't see them arrived yet. So possibly tomorrow, Saturday, we'll be able to go to the mailbox and pick those 2 items up. And then resume working on the 81 Alpha to finish off that project list. So probably transitioning back from the 250 to the Alpha in the near future. Stay tuned. right, certainly a great day, big milestone in the Taj Mahal tonight, with the car moving under its own power up and down the driveway, at least for the first time in over 4 years, if you can believe that. It's been a long journey. I guess I'll have to start taking the key out of it now.